he'll be able to get into a nice program and, just kind of, get past this part of his life, you know?
Yeah, because like my thing is, I know he's carrying a lot of pain and hurt, because he had such like basically a lot of it is channeled from the boys need their mom just as well as they need their dad,
So you was you
that's
was you was
basically.
you was you was breaking up, but say that again?
Now I was saying like, cause he carries a lot of hurt, from the basically he has such high expectations when it came to meeting his mom, and then
What's up, YouTube? Man, it looks like things are heating up for summer 23. So stay tapped in. Now back to the content.
He definitely be getting into the ladies deep and quick.
yeah, I try to stay on about it, especially the risk that he taking with them STDs and stuff like that. You messing with random girls off the street, so they ain't clean. You want to call me, talking about dad, I might have. No, you ain't got no baby on the way, because you know what I'm saying, or I don't like to put, like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about that. I'm struggling with my own.
No, that's right. No, that's right.
But yeah,
All right.
I always try to, when I talk to him, I always tell him, you can beat the drugs. I'll never tell him anything different. I try to make sure I'm not putting him down. Try to encourage him to do the right things. Every time I talk to him, I actually talked to him earlier today, but he was calling asking for some money. So man, I ain't having it. So I ain't having to send. I still got bills up here, and I tell him, trying to get him to ask, keep asking, "Are you still down there?" He called me the other night. Talking about I need to hurry up and get out of Atlanta because people keep trying to come at me and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, if you feel like that, come on back up here. Let's get your business handled. You know what I'm saying? And get you into rehab. And I seen like a musical therapy program that I want to sign them up with. I got to get them back here first.
Yeah, that's what he said actually. He said that in the interview that I had just actually posted earlier this morning.
Rally.
Yeah, I had seen him like about, several days ago. It was late at night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's exactly what he was talking about. So yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, you already know, anything that I can do to get him back up there, to where, like you say, he'll be able to get into a nice program and, just kind of, get past this part of his life, you know?
Yeah, because like my thing is, I know he's carrying a lot of pain and hurt, because he had such like basically a lot of it is channeled from the boys need their mom just as well as they need their dad.
So
That's basically.
you was breaking up, but say that again?
Now I was saying like, cause he carries a lot of hurt, from the basically he has such high expectations when it came to meeting his mom, and then to basically find out what she was actually like, and that disappointment from that. He carries all that and he channels that towards how he treats women, which he always did that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
Like,
something that I speculated on, and I asked him about that because, um, you know, uh-oh, I think we lost him. Okay, James, you still there? All right, nope.
shoot around, play basketball, or go to this blues jam tonight.
Hey,
Might be
man,
going up.
it's always
Go
good to get a little bit of physical activity in, and then go do the other thing afterwards type deal. Especially if you're saying you got some little plaque and stuff like that. Go ahead and work some of that stuff off and drink you some red wine afterwards, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, I really don't drink like that, like I used to. I can't.
Well, they say red wine is like a thinning agent, and so just just throwing it out there or whatnot. But okay,
I,
okay.
I can steal something out of her bottle.
I hear that, man. I hear that. So, but yeah, man, like anything that I can do to help get him back up there, I'm down for the plan.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like the real results gonna have to be a Josiah's decision.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, listen,
it's gonna have
someone said it on one of the interviews, man. It's gonna have to come from him. It's gonna have to come from him.
yeah, he's gonna have to be the one to say I'm ready to go, and because if he don't do it, then there's no point. Like I went down there, you know, I
What do you
when
think
it
it's gonna take? What do you think it's gonna take for him to just make that decision?
really I'm trying to I've been trying to get him to talk to me longer about more, to get more in depth in the conversation. But you talk to Josiah, you know how he loves
Uh,
that. And like the whole part when he's asking about school, he can't answer that question. He's not going to be able to answer that question because
of
when he
course not.
turned 18, because he was in that behavior center till he turned 18, and then he made the choice to go live with his mom because she told him that his brother was going to come live with her. So, and he wanted to be around his brother, so he's like, I'm gonna go live with my mom. Then turned out that was a lie, and she basically got him signed up for all them benefits, and he's trying to tell him, but he didn't find out for sure until he actually signed up for him. And now they're taking money out of his check because the money that she was getting the whole time he was in Atlanta.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Dang.
and and she was angry with him because he took her off. That's why he really don't want nothing to do with her because she was talking crazy to him and all that stuff. Which,
Mm.
I knew how she was. I knew her agenda from jump. Nobody wanted to listen to me because I'm a man. You know, even when he was in Detroit, Children's Services told me they wouldn't help me because Ohio's a mom state. So I couldn't get an Amber Alert or nothing. And I had full custody.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You have full legal custody, and they wouldn't let you put out an Amber Alert for your child that was basically kidnapped because
Yeah.
you're a
He said,
man.
and he said he's with his mom.
Ooh-wee.
And he's only supposed to go out of town for a weekend because she said she had a funeral up there. I'm like, okay, it's a good way to. So I wanted to give her a chance, a chance for him to get to know her better and get to know his other side of his family. 'Cause I ain't no asshole.
Right.
I understand it's important to him. And like I feel like if she put up a big front in front of everybody. I saw. I mean, of course, I saw straight through it. I saw straight through it when I first saw her at his birthday party when she showed up. She called me by my full government name, like you ain't gonna like James. I'm like, hold up. I ain't seen you in fucking 14 years, and you think you can call
Just
me by
show
my
up. Right.
and then be like, oh, you ain't gonna speak? I said, hi. I'm here for his birthday party. I ain't here for you. We can talk about whatever later. Everybody, shit, they wanted us to take a picture together, and it was the funniest picture ever. Them two right here, I'm way the fuck over here. They're like, you gonna get close? Like, man, y'all trying to force some shit, some spectator shit, you know? But,
Yeah,
and
I
like,
mean, I get
and
it.
like,
I get it.
and
Probably
like,
would have
oh,
been probably would have been a good picture type memory for him, to see like, you know, his mom and dad like in the picture together and just kind of not like, it ain't a family together. They're not together, but it's just kind of people just cooperating.
yeah, I mean, that's why I showed up. I ain't really, it was at a bowling alley, so I'm like, shit, I ain't got to spend too much time around her or whatever. You know, I'm there for him. I'll say hi, whatever, keep it cordial. You ain't got to do nothing extra, you know. But,
Yeah.
baby mama's, baby mama drama. Like I said, the first case I had, the first case was when it was a fake case where he tried to say that, well, he didn't say it, but She tried to say that my girl threw hot water on him, and that never happened. She threw cold water on him as a prank one morning because he was trying not to get up in the morning for school. She's like, my mom used to throw a shoe at me.
Right, right, right. That's just old school parenting a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with
And that shit came flying from across the room. I didn't know my mom had an arm like that. I'm
that.
sitting there, wow, And then like the next case was like, he said I beat him, choked him, threw him in his clothes outside, made him sleep on the porch until I went to work the next morning. I'm like, I'm like, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. Like,
So you just made all that
'cause
up?
oh yeah, there was that, and then there was the case. Then like the whole thing where he said about the children's service to my girl or whatever. She made that up too. We had had police come to the house. Because they tried to say that we handcuffed him to the bed without, and all this nigga had was a mattress and some old school ass bed rails. I'm like, so where the hell we gonna handcuff this nigga at? So nothing they said was making sense. Some of my girl raped him. Then we got him. Then when they did come and talk to Josiah, he basically told him that that was his mom's idea. She did that to try to get me and him in trouble.
So wait, so he said
So, but
that your girl R word him?
no, she said it. She made up the case.
Alice did. Okay.
Yeah. But Josiah
His mom. Okay,
defended.
okay.
But
So he
Josiah told the truth. She wasn't expecting Josiah to get in a situation where he told the truth.
mm,
And he said, "Yeah, that was my mom's idea. She's just trying to get y'all in trouble, get them in trouble, or trying to get them out the picture so she can have custody of me."
mm.
Yeah, she was scheming. She was scheming hard. And being a man, children serve, they didn't want to listen to me. And then when COVID hit, we doing all these Zoom court cases. They kept putting me on mute, and I'm like, "Am I gonna get a chance to tell the truth? Cause y'all sitting there feeding in all these lies right now, and where's his mental health before he gets?" Cause that was I was more concerned about. Cause that's the only reason I went to them for help. Or actually, they said he volunteered to go to children's service because he
Mm.
didn't want to listen. Cause he went to school trying to act like the alpha dog, talking all that shit like, "Yeah, I run my dad, I run the house and all that." He didn't think he was gonna get home.
uh,
And then he got his ass whipped. That shit. I told his ass to sit down, and like he stayed on punishment, and he never did anything to really try to get off. We try to come up with ideas to try to get him off. My girl, like, my girl, even with all the shit he's talking, she's still telling us like we need to figure out some way to get him out of there and get him some help. Like she still cares about him. She doesn't like the way he has her name in her mouth, and who does, because we don't do that. But she still cares about him. She still loves him. You know, but it's like one of those I love you but fuck you at the same time because you talking about shit.
yeah, I mean, look, I get it, man. I get it. Some people you got to feed with a long-handed spoon. All right, and love from a distance. Love from a distance. So I understand it, man.
Yeah,
I understand it. So, well, look, man, I don't want
I
to
make
hold you
sure.
all night, man. I'm actually finishing up a little bit of work that I have over here.
Yeah, I was gonna now I was gonna send you something like because I just want to see Josiah's reaction on
What you was gonna
video.
send
Maybe
me?
like it was like one of his favorite, basically one of my songs, but it's his favorite of mine.
You say one of his songs?
No, it's one of mine,
Oh, one of your songs.
but it's
Okay,
actually one of his favorites.
send it
But
to
it's
me,
like his
man.
favorite song
Send it to me.
because he actually had a making up a dance to it. And I always tell him he need to focus on that too, like that dancing and stuff.
Man,
There's so many
I'm gonna
we
tell you
down there, so
something,
many
man.
opportunities.
He's actually a pretty strong kid, and he's got like a good muscle structure and everything. He could do a little bit of anything, man. Like you say, he's like phenomenal with the dancing. And I mean, he could get into bodybuilding if he wanted to. He could do a little bit of anything, man.
Yeah, that's what I always tell him. You know, I'm not gonna tell him anything different. I tell him like you're capable of doing anything. You're not too old. You're still young enough to make a complete turnaround and pick everything right back up. Because I told him when he was up here, there's schools that would allow him to go back because they had schools for people up to 22 or something. And I'm like, yeah, you need to go back and when you go down here, figure out what your actual basic. Because I know his mom didn't take him like after she didn't take him to school after after he decided to come live with her. He didn't go to school after that. They went straight to Atlanta and he went straight to the streets pretty much.
Mm,
He never he never made it back into the next school year after getting out of the center.
mm-hmm, mm.
So and like
Okay,
you
man.
know, I told them they didn't want to listen to me because that was one of my major concerns. Because when she did have him with him, she didn't want him. She didn't want him in sports. Like she didn't want him. Like I was coaching the football team. She had him missing games, missing practice.
And
So
you
I'm
the
like,
coach.
yeah. And she's like, oh, football's not important. He's not gonna learn anything from that. I'm like, are you crazy?
Mm.
Football teaches self-discipline. It teaches you how to channel your anger and how to,
Teamwork,
yeah,
relying on others, trusting others, and man, a lot of stuff.
yeah,
A lot of
trust
stuff.
building. And he was learning all that, and he was loving it. And then like let me see, yeah, she didn't want him to do anything, and like
I believe
yeah,
you. I believe you, man. I believe you. So,
because
um,
she's telling me how she used to hit him. Like I talked to one of her friends that live up here, and she said like she used to isolate him, and and basically treat him like a slave, try to make him do everything, and he didn't want to listen. She get physical with him and stuff like that. And that even happened while he was in Detroit. She hit him with a board. But then, like, somehow that story got flipped on me later on, like a year later. I'm like, what the hell you talking about? But
that's crazy.
because
That's
I had
crazy.
already went to, they did not want to help me. I literally had to talk to the police down here. The FBI wouldn't, like, I told FBI, all the niggas, they would not help me because I needed an Amber Alert.
Mm.
And I talked to the schools up there, like the school districts, and they actually did let them go to school up there, and they wasn't supposed to, because I talked to them before the school year started. I told them if he tried to enroll, I sent them all my information, the full custody, all that, and they didn't help me, so I could have sued them for that. But I was just when I found him in that mental hospital, where he tried to commit suicide. That was the only way I found him because one of her family members told me.
One of whose
So I
family
was able,
members?
his mom's.
Mm.
So then I was able to talk to the police officer up there. The very next day, I was gone. I told my job, told my manager like, damn, we got some new fucking mosquitoes up here. They got,
The mosquitoes on the
they like,
attack. They trying to get ate.
yeah, they some white mosquitoes. I ain't never seen them. Them motherfuckers is aggressive. They stay on you. But yeah, I mean, like I went through, like I dealt with a lot, and like man, we just try to just keep pushing, keep working, keep providing, keep our head up, not show too much. And like I never really like Josiah's never seen me do any kind of like he never even seen me smoke weed until he turned 18. And that was basically I learned from my parents. I saw it, I was exposed to it. I got exposed to a lot of stuff at an early age, sex at an early age, drugs at an early age. I mean, basically just weed at an early age. I wasn't doing nothing else. Because
Well, I
we still
mean,
had
what
dare.
what do you think there's any truth to when he says that his mom gave him crack at like 15 or whatever?
I mean, I know when he was up there, he came back. When I did get him back, his whole like he was doing a lot of stuff that he never tried to do before. Like he's trying to smoke mouths. drinking. Before we could leave a bottle in the refrigerator and he ain't even think to touch it. He'd go right past it or whatever. She could leave her wine right there. He wouldn't even try to take. This nigga tried to sneak some wine in school. And then I sit him down. We talked to him. She's like, yeah, she used to take me to parties, let me drink and stuff like that. And I'm like, that sounds like her, because she basically that whole I'm a grown ass. She basically started telling him as early as she could. You're 15. You can make your own decisions. You ain't got to listen to them. You're adult. You can, you're considered an adult now. You can choose to do whatever you want. If you don't do it, you can just basically, leave and do whatever. And I'm like, why are you telling him this? And this is a boy who doesn't have the 14-year-old mindset. The mindset of a 14-year-old
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah, he probably had the mindset of a 9 or a 10-year-old at that point.
Real gullible, and you're gonna have his behavior changing up, and then you're not gonna deal with it. You need to deal with it and trying to make like me bad. Like if I whip his ass, like you're not gonna go to school tell everybody you whip my ass and come home and not get your ass whipped. I wish I would have did
Uh,
some shit like that, man. Cause I couldn't even try to. I tried the whole going to sleep before my dad got home from work. Shit, that shit didn't work either. I woke up and snatched the cover off, right across my back. I was in class the next day like, oh, I'm tripping. I
old
guess
school,
you
old
got
school was
my
different,
full.
man.
I guess you got my full attention today because I'm not sitting back right now. I ain't say shit. The rules like what happened at home stays at home, and that's one rule Josiah's never caught on to either. You know, he uh he always looked for scapegoats. He
Yeah,
used his
yep.
grandparents as scapegoat. Um, Basically, he tried to. Then he thought children's services would be a good scapegoat, but then he found out that it wasn't. And that's why y'all some I was locked up in that center forever. I'm like, we
You
try to
did it.
tell you.
Yep. You did it to yourself. Not
We
listening.
try to tell you.
Not listening. So, hey, look, man, I got to roll, man. I got to roll, man. But
But
you
yeah,
know we got an open
basically,
line,
like,
man. So you call me anytime, all right?
yeah, I tried to call you. The phone number I had, the 470 number, it said it ain't working anymore.
No, no, no. That's Oh, you know what? That was my old work phone. So
Oh,
I'll DM you my number that I've had for 20 years, basically.
okay. Yeah,
All right.
just yeah. That way we can, like, basically, like I said, all we can do is just try to figure out a way to get him to push towards that decision to leave. Because like when he called me the other night, sounding all scared,
Well, I
uh,
mean, did you see that he
saying
got into a
somebody
fight?
grabbed him. Yeah, he said somebody like I asked him today, and because he hates to live, he hates to give details. So I
Well,
asked him today. The other night we was on the
I'm
phone. Did you
editing that
actually?
video right now, and it's gonna be posted in about an hour.
Yeah, because I told him like, did you get jumped or something? Because I heard about it. Like I heard about him being like a video where he's bruised or something, and I'm like, so what happened? Did you actually get jumped? Is that why you was calling me saying that, Dad, I need to hurry up and get out of Atlanta and come back to Columbus? And the girls in the background, they basically talking like they needed to get out of there within that day or 24 hours. Talking about people keep trying to come at me and kill me. And I'm like, I know a lot of that is your fault. If you out here acting like Billy Badass, you're gonna meet him.
That's the
You know what I'm
same
saying?
thing I told him, man. That's literally the same thing I told him. So, yeah, yeah,
I talked
definitely,
to him.
man. We're on the same page, and like you say, man. I mean, basically,
Yeah, I
just
talked.
gotta continue pushing towards helping him make the right decision. You know?
Yeah, cause like a lot of times, like growing up, like you know, in school, you deal with bullies and stuff like that. And you feel like he was getting bullied and needed to learn how to fight. So I taught him how to throw, taught him a couple combinations and stuff. And he went to school, couldn't wait to use it, and got in trouble. I'm like, son, I didn't teach you that.
that sounds like my boy, man. That sounds like Josiah. So,
Like
all
I did
right,
not teach you that
like I
for
said,
that.
man, I gotta rock and roll, man. We gonna talk later, all right?
Yeah, I mean, we talk like call me anytime, whatever.
It's
Like
all good. I'm gonna
basically,
hit you. I'm gonna hit you. You can hit me. I'm gonna hit you. It's an open line, all right, for sure.
all right, man.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, bro. Take care.
You too now.